Welcome to BikeBeat. The Honda VTX 1800R for 2025 is not just another cruiser, it's a statement of what happens when engineering meets attitude. From the first glance, it's obvious this motorcycle is built to turn heads and to own the road. Its sheer size, the muscular stance, and the glint of chrome across the bodywork announce that this is a machine with presence. But behind the aesthetics is a rider's motorcycle, designed to perform, to be comfortable over distance, and to carry that distinctive Honda reliability that riders across generations have come to trust. Today on BikeBeat, we're diving deep into what makes the 2025 VTX 1800R special, from its key features and performance, to the design elements that set it apart, to its pricing, and finally to the reasons you might want to make this your next bike. Let's start with what lies at the heart of this motorcycle: its engine. The VTX 1800R carries a massive 1,795 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled 52-degree V-twin, designed with a bore of 101 mm and a stroke of 112 mm. That long-stroke design favors torque over screaming top-end power, and that's exactly what cruiser fans want. The moment you roll on the throttle, you feel a wall of torque that launches you forward effortlessly. Peak horsepower sits in the 100 to 110 horsepower range, but the real star of the show is torque, delivered low in the rev range where you live most of your riding life. This isn't a bike you have to rev high to enjoy. From as low as 2,000 RPM, the engine pulls with authority, making overtakes on the highway a stress-free affair and giving city riding that relaxed yet powerful character. Mated to a 5-speed transmission and a shaft drive, the drivetrain is engineered for smoothness and low maintenance. The shaft eliminates chain adjustments, lube, and mess, while providing a direct, almost luxurious connection to the rear wheel. The chassis complements that motor beautifully. A steel tubular frame underpins the VTX 1800R, providing the stiffness required to handle the weight and torque. At the front, a 45mm fork gives stability and confidence, while dual shocks at the rear with preload adjustability allow you to dial in comfort depending on whether you're solo or carrying a passenger. Dual front disc brakes paired with a rear single disc ensure stopping power is never in doubt, and with ABS now standard across Honda's big bikes, you've got safety to match the performance. The wheels are wrapped in wide rubber. The fat rear tire in particular gives both stability and that imposing cruiser stance. On the design front, the VTX 1800R leans into the timeless cruiser aesthetic while adding subtle modern touches. The silhouette is low and long, the tank sculpted to flow into the broad seat, and the fenders deep and sweeping. Chrome accents gleam across the engine cases, exhaust, and handlebars, reflecting light in a way that emphasizes the bike's size and power. The seat height sits around 27 inches, which means most riders will find it approachable despite its weight. Wide, slightly pulled back handlebars and forward-set floorboards create that relaxed riding triangle perfect for long stretches of highway. The headlight cluster, now fully LED, blends classic round styling with the crisp brightness of modern lighting. At the rear, integrated LED brake and turn signals keep things sleek and functional. The instrument cluster is a mix of analog and digital, a big dial to satisfy traditionalists, with a digital inset for essentials like fuel level, trip meters, and diagnostics. Riding the VTX 1800R is an experience defined by confidence. On the highway, the bike feels planted. The long wheelbase and weight keep it stable even in gusty crosswinds. The engine hums along at low RPM, delivering power without effort, while the shaft drive eliminates lash and provides a clean, smooth connection. When cornering, you do feel the limits of a cruiser geometry. Ground clearance means floorboards will scrape if you push too hard, but within the bike's intended envelope, it's composed and sure-footed. In city riding, the weight requires care at very low speeds, especially in parking lots, but once moving even slightly, the balance improves and the bike feels more manageable. Suspension comfort is tuned toward the plush side, soaking up highway imperfections while keeping the bike predictable. It's the kind of ride where you can do hours in the saddle and still climb off feeling fresh. Technology on the 2025 VTX 1800R is functional rather than flashy. Honda's focus here isn't to overload with gadgets but to ensure riders have what matters. Full LED lighting ensures visibility, both for the rider and for others to see you. ABS comes standard, giving confidence under hard braking or in less than ideal road conditions. Depending on the market, traction control and even selectable ride modes may be available, but the core experience is about keeping things mechanical and visceral. The digital dash may offer Bluetooth connectivity for phone pairing in some trims, catering to riders who want navigation or music integration, but the soul of this bike lies in its mechanical heart rather than a touchscreen menu. Where Honda does go all in is accessories. Riders can choose factory touring screens, saddlebags, backrests, or comfort upgrades, making the bike versatile enough to adapt from boulevard cruiser to long-distance tourer. Now let's talk about price. In the US market, the 2025 Honda VTX 1800R comes in at around $13,400, about $13,399 for the base model. That's competitive for a motorcycle of this displacement and class, especially given the shaft drive, the Honda reliability, and the build quality on offer. Of course, if you're in markets where big bikes are imported, like South Asia or parts of Europe, expect the price to climb significantly with duties and dealer costs, sometimes nearly doubling the American MSRP. That makes the VTX 1800R a premium investment, not just a casual purchase. Beyond the initial cost, ownership expenses like insurance, tires, and fuel should be considered. With a big 1,800 cubic centimeters twin, fuel economy isn't its strongest point. Expect numbers on the thirsty side compared to midsize cruisers, but for most buyers in this segment, performance and presence outweigh mileage concerns. The unique selling points of the VTX 1800 come down to four main things. First, torque and smoothness. That engine is all about delivering effortless power in a way that feels muscular yet refined. Second, the shaft drive, low maintenance, clean, and built for the long haul, something not every cruiser offers. Third, the balance between classic cruiser style and modern reliability, chrome, low lines, and wide bars paired with Honda engineering and safety features. And fourth, comfort and customization. It's a bike you can tailor to your taste, whether you want a stripped-down boulevard bruiser or a full touring rig. It's not without trade-offs. At nearly 800 pounds, it's a heavy machine, and new riders may find it intimidating. Cornering clearance is limited, so aggressive riders will find its boundaries quickly. And while the price is fair in the US, in some markets it becomes an expensive proposition. But for the rider who understands what this bike is about. Long, confident cruising, endless torque, and road presence, those aren't deal breakers, they're just part of the cruiser package. Who, then, is this bike for? The VTX 1800R is for riders who have moved beyond smaller displacement cruisers and want the next step up, more power, more comfort, and more presence. It's for someone who wants to own the open road, not just ride it. It's for the rider who values both style and substance, who wants to arrive somewhere and have heads turn, but also wants the bike to start every time, to run for years without drama, and to feel as good on the 1,000th ride as it did on the first. That's been our deep dive into the 2025 Honda VTX 1800R. What do you think? Would you take this machine on cross-country journeys, or would you keep it for weekend boulevard runs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this detailed look, make sure you like the video, subscribe to BikeBeat, and hit that bell so you never miss our next ride. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the rubber side down.